Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Well, there's also today been an angry reaction outside London to the Transport Secretary's decision to back the £30 billion project to build the new Crossrail 2 commuter line across the capital. A short time ago, I spoke to the Labour Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham, in Salford, and I asked him whether he accepted there was a more pressing need in the capital to tackle congestion and boost the UK economy.
I think your viewers in the north of England who are getting home now after a long commute will feel a sense of blind fury about this, as I do. You know, Crossrail 1 in London hasn't even opened yet, and yet the government are finding billions more for Crossrail 2. And this comes just days after they scrapped electrification schemes across the country and questioned whether a modest improvement to Piccadilly Station in Manchester could go ahead. You know, we've got an imbalanced country and an imbalanced economy, and funneling more money into London is only going to make that worse. The Prime Minister came to office saying she'd close the north-south divide. This is only going to widen it.
Well, you say that, but also, don't we have a duty to tell our viewers, both north and south, as the Mayor of London has done, that London actually receives less funding per passenger than the rest of the UK? That's according to Sadiq Khan, your Labour colleague.
Well, I'm not sure how those figures have been arrived at, because it doesn't feel that way to us. And actually, the IPPR have calculated that for every £1 that the north of England is about to receive in terms of transport funding, London and the South East are going to get 6. And obviously that ratio will get even worse with today's announcement. But just look, don't take the figures, look at the difference in the transport system, Cathy. Look at the system in London and compare it to the north of England, where people here have put up with overcrowded, substandard rail services for far too long. You know, journey times from here in Manchester to Newcastle take way over 2.5 hours. It's not good enough. And actually, if there's a single highest priority, it should be the north. We've waited for transport investment, and surely we should be at the front of the queue now.
OK, obviously one of the reasons that everybody's arguing so passionately about this is that in the wake of Brexit, the economic performance of the whole of the UK is much more closely scrutinised. I mean, today the IMF has slashed the UK growth forecast in the wake of that EU referendum vote. Are you worried, therefore, about the economic implications of quitting the single market?
Yes, I am worried. And actually, at that referendum last year, it was the voice of places that feel neglected that came through. And I argued then, and still argue today, that the right response to the referendum should have been to rebalance the country, put more investment into those places that have been forgotten by all governments. And instead, it seems we're going the other way. We already live in a London-centric country, and it looks like the government is going to make that even worse. It's time to rebalance the economy.
Sorry to interrupt, but have you changed your mind? Because you had been arguing that we would need to quit the single market as a logical consequence of Brexit.
No, I was saying you need to listen to what people were saying with regard to concerns about free movement, but you have to maintain maximum access to the single market, alongside recognising that there are parts of our country that feel that they've been abandoned, and you need to invest in infrastructure there so that we can build a new economy here in the north of England. And this decision today, in my view, casts serious doubt upon that. There aren't two pots of £15 billion sitting there. The effect of allowing London to scoop the pot again is that it continues this approach where the north is treated as poor relations. So and there is no way we can build a strong, rebalanced economy post-Brexit if this continues. OK,
so is Jeremy Corbyn wrong to rule out staying in the single market? Do you want a kind of Norway option?
The government's got to have a debate about single market access with regard to changes that they want to see about free movement. That's negotiation is taking place in Brussels now. I'm on here tonight to say it's time, regardless of those decisions, for the north to get its fair share of transport
and I've heard
investment.
I've heard you absolutely loud and clear.
A strong economy after Brexit unless you do that, Cathy.
I've heard you. You made your point really clearly, repeatedly on that. But on the single market, you're sitting on the fence, aren't you?
No, I want to see maximum access to the single market alongside recognising the views that people expressed at the referendum. That's the balance that's got to be struck, and those negotiations are happening right now. But irrespective of those negotiations, we need fairness in this country with regards to infrastructure investment. We haven't got it right now.
Andy Burnham talking to me just before we came on air.